All right, let's see if that's any better. All right, let's see how that does, and maybe that'll be a little bit better. All right, but let's keep going, and then I'll catch up where we are. All right. So the main thing is you want to make sure that you can measure it. So the F is what's the focus, what's the goal of the system. All right. Now here's another thing to remember: only one goal per system. If you need multiple goals, that means you need multiple systems. All right. So don't try to solve everything in one big complicated process. Have simple processes. And I want to say this the best way I can. I think y'all understand my heart when I say this, but simple processes can be led by simple people, right? Like the more complicated a system is, the more specialized the leader has to be. If the process is simple, then somebody doesn't need to be a professional to be able to do it, right? You can really simplify it for them, and that's what you want to do. All right, and so make sure that you can track it. All right, when it's ambiguous, people get more exhausted. It tires people out quicker, faster, all that kind of stuff like that. All right, so be aware of that. So let's keep going. Number two, L is lead-ins. It's the entry points. You've got to identify exactly how people and task into your system. All right. Another word for this in the technical world is a trigger. All right. When you hear the word trigger, what comes to your mind? Like you think about a gun. Like if you pull a trigger, bullet come out. Well, a trigger is basically an action that starts a process. So if we have a plan for guest follow up, the question is, how do people get plugged in to that process? What do they have to do in order for that process to start? Right? Because after all, you can build a system for guest follow up, but just because somebody walks through the door doesn't mean that they're automatically going to be entered into your process. A first time guest can come and visit your church and never get in plugged into your process. All of us have had guests come to our churches and they walk in and they walk out and they never get plugged into the process. So how does one get into the process? So here's some common lead-ins. One can be a connection card. You have connection cards in your church where people can fill them out, people can plug in. That should be one of the ways they get into your system. Hey, fill out this connection card so we can reach out to you and let you know we're thankful for your visit, but also get your prayer requests. It could be a QR code. You can put it on screen. You can put it in your lobby. One of the things that we've been looking at as a church is we're looking at those little NFC tags, little tap that you can put on the back of seats. And so when people hold up their phone to it, it'll automatically open up a form and stuff like that. Right? So you can think about that. Another one is web forms. Forms on your website. Plan your visit pages. Those are pages where um, people can plug in and let you know, hey, I'm coming to visit this weekend. Kids check-ins, prayer cards, right? Altar responses, people coming to the altar, text to join campaign, text the word life to this phone number to get on our text list, right? Text this, whatever it is. Text victory to this number, right? All of those different things are lead ins. So you got to think about, yes, we got the system, but how do we get people into it? Another one that I'll mention here is having a welcome center. We talk a lot about welcome centers in our training, but in the welcome centers, we talk about what it looks like to be able to bring people in, plug people in, and have guests identify themselves. First time guests identify themselves easily and simply. All right. So you want to think about all of those different things. All of those things are lead-ins and opportunities for us to connect with people and for us to help people take the next step. All right. Any questions on that? Everybody, that was pretty simple to the point. All right. Let's keep going. All right. So we got focus, you got lead in. Next is order of operations. What is the order that you want this process to flow in? All right. What's the order that we want to see this process flow in? You need to think about that. You need to be aware of how you want things to go, how you want things to flow.